As a mother, would you help your son if you knew very well that helping your son could land you in jail? Would you do that? This is tough. Welcome to another episode of Struck Off. Hi guys, my name is Nanelle Griselda. On this channel, I talk about nursing, migrating to the UK, and opportunities for people to relocate to the UK. And this is a series on my channel called Struck Off, where we discuss things that health professionals did that put them in trouble, or things that health professionals did that nearly put them in trouble, so that we'll pick a few lessons from these stories, okay? You can check out the playlist here for other episodes of Struck Off. I hope you pick and learn a lesson from today's episode. So this is Vincenzo De Falco. At the time of the incidents, Vincenzo De Falco was about 28 years old. So in the new year of 2019, Vincenzo caught his girlfriend, who's called Lucy, texting her ex-boyfriend, okay? So obviously Vincenzo got jealous, but at the time, he did not really show it well, okay? He apparently arranged to supply cannabis to his current girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. That's really odd, right? They arranged to meet on 21st of January in 2019 at a place in Manchester called Rochdale. Mr. Vincenzo De Falco got to the scheduled location in a black Mercedes C-Class sports car, and Mr. Jonathan Smith, the ex-boyfriend, got into the back seat of the car, okay? Obviously to get his cannabis. When he got in, instead of Vincenzo De Falco giving him the cannabis, he rather confronted him as to why he's still texting his girlfriend, okay? So Jonathan Smith was like, no, I'm not texting her. Well, we're just talking, we're just friends, there's nothing really to it. But it looks like Mr. Vincenzo De Falco was not convinced. So it led into an argument, and then from the front seat of the Mercedes C-Class sports car, so he turned back around and shot Jonathan Smith through his left knee. And then he pushed him out of the car onto the pavement and drove off. So according to the police investigations, later on they realized that there were two people that Mr. Vincenzo De Falco called after the incident. He called his mom and he called the girlfriend. Vincenzo De Falco apparently spoke to the girlfriend and the mom and told them what had happened. And as a good mom as she was, this is what she did. Guys, listen carefully. Meet Vincenzo De Falco's mom. She's called Nurse Patricia Dean, okay? She's been a mental health nurse for over 25 years. And according to her colleagues, she is compassionate. She is very reliable. She's a good nurse, like really, like a good nurse, okay? And this is what she did. She had just come back from work when the son phoned to inform her of what he had done. And what did she do? She texted her superiors, saying that she's suddenly ill and that she could not come in to work the next day. And even for the whole week, she was not able to report to it. She was now mysteriously ill. So she phoned in sick, right? And what did she do next? She took the car. This Mercedes C-Class car was actually not for Vincenzo. This car was given to Nurse Patricia Dean by the NHS. Yes, Nurse Patricia Dean had her own BMW car, but she also got this car from the NHS. The NHS had this Mercedes car for her. I don't know for what reason. I don't know, but maybe those that know can comment below why the NHS would hire a car for a nurse. I don't know why, but that is it. And she said that whenever the son needed the Mercedes, she would give the son the Mercedes to drive. I mean, you know. So this car that Vincenzo sat in to commit the crime was a car that the NHS had for Nurse Patricia Dean. So she took the car, and where did she go? She went straight to a car wash. And after cleaning the blood in the car herself, obviously there were still some stains left in the backseat of the car where the shooting happened. So she got to the car wash and told them to give the car a thorough wash. According to the guys who work at the car wash, they said that she was constantly checking the back. She'd go and check the back seat again and tell them to scrub the place again. She just kept telling them to scratch to make sure they had cleaned the car thoroughly, and her main focus was, you know, at the back seat. Obviously, those at the car wash, the workers at the car wash had no idea why she wanted the back seat cleaned thoroughly. But she made them clean the car for over an hour. This video is proudly sponsored by Lemonade Finance. So Lemonade Finance is a money transfer app that allows you to send money from the UK, Canada, or the US to 10 different African countries at no transfer charge. Their rates are the best so far, like really. So you can send money from the UK, Canada, and the US to countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Cameroon, Senegal, Ivory Coast at no transfer charge. Use a link in the description to download Lemonade Finance, whether you use an iPhone or whether you use an Android phone, and send money now. When you use the referral code Nanelle, you get 10% of the money you're transferring back into your account. So if you use Nanelle and you send £100, you get £10 back. If you use Nanelle and you send £200, you get £20 back, but it's capped at £50. They are very reliable, and the money goes instantly, like that moment, like that moment. Okay, so thank you so much, Lemonade Finance, for sponsoring today's video. Just on the 23rd of January, same year, 2019, just about a day or two after the shooting, Mr. Vincenzo De Falco and Nurse Patricia Dean were arrested by the police. Okay, so at the time, Nurse Patricia Dean, after washing the car thoroughly, went to park the car in her sister's house, hoping that police would never find the car. So the car was parked in her sister's house. I mean, if you watch a lot of crime documentaries, you know that some of these things, no matter what you do, you can't get away with it. So I don't know why she did that. But then again, I'm thinking that that's a mother's instinct. She was protecting her poor boy. You know, guys, I'm not trying to defend what Madam Patricia did, but I'm just trying to look at things from her perspective. Like, maybe she's a good mom. She wants to protect her son, so much so that she forgot about the crime that the son had actually committed, you know? So yeah, they were both arrested. And she told the police and then the detectives or whoever that she had no idea what the son had done. And when she was asked to give like a timeline of where the car had been, she left out the part where she went to the car wash. She left that out, hoping that you know, it wouldn't draw any attention to her. But CCTV. There was CCTV recording of her driving the car to the car wash to get it clean and asking them to clean the car thoroughly. So she could not defend herself, you know, with that. She still maintains that she absolutely had no idea. But if you had no idea, why did you suddenly phone in sick for the whole week when you had just reported to work that same day? And you drive to the car wash and ask them to thoroughly clean the backseat. What was at the backseat that needed to be thoroughly cleaned? Let's talk about Jonathan Smith, the ex-boyfriend who got shot. So luckily for him, he was found by, you know, passerbys, and then they obviously phoned 999, and then they took him to the hospital. Unfortunately for this poor man, he spent 56 hours in surgery. At the end of the day, unfortunately for him, the doctor said he had to get his leg amputated. So he got his left leg amputated just below the knee. That's how miserable he ended. Okay, and that's how sad it was. And now apparently he can't do anything by himself. He has to be assisted by his aunt, even with toileting and with so many things. He is so miserable. According to him, he says he now feels suicidal. He feels like killing himself. He's not able to go out. He says he loves to jog. He loves to go out with his daughters. But now that has been taken out from him. How can he jog and take walks with one leg? Later on, it was even brought to the attention of the police that before Vincenzo went to do what he did, he actually told his friends that he was going to put the jitters on someone. So he had actually planned to do this, you know. But he later pled guilty of causing grievous bodily harm and for supplying of cannabis, you know, with intent. So he pled guilty and was given 11 years and 3 months. With Nurse Patricia Dean, it was really sad. She first of all phoned NMC to tell them to just take her name off the register, you know, by herself, because she didn't want the removal of her name to be attached to that crime, you know. So she just wanted her name off, like voluntarily asking them to take her name off the register even before this whole thing gets attached to why her name was removed from the NMC register. The NMC had a 2-day hearing in August that year, and they decided to strike her off. According to the NMC, they said that no concerns were raised about Nurse Patricia Dean's clinical practice, and they had a sight of positive testimonials from colleagues about her nursing skills. However, her criminal behavior happened outside of a work context, and the panel concluded that she does not pose any risk to patients. However, they maintain that keeping her on the register will let the public lose confidence in the NMC, that such a nurse is still practicing. So they agree that she had positive testimonials from her colleagues and there was no risk to patients because she has conducted herself well all these 25 years. But they still concluded that there will be no confidence, the public will have no confidence in nurses if such a nurse, after cleaning a crime scene for her son, was still maintained on the nursing register. So for that reason, they struck her off. But before that, they gave her the opportunity to appeal, and then after 2 weeks, if no appeal was made, she was like struck off permanently. So that's what happened, and she was jailed for 18 months. Okay, who do you blame, guys? Who do you blame? Do you blame the girlfriend for cheating to have caused all this? Do you blame Vincent DeFalco for not being able to control his feelings and for hurting somebody else? Or do you blame Nurse Patricia Dane for helping the son? Do you honestly think, as a mother, may this never happen to you, may you never find yourself in such a situation, but do you honestly think that as a mom, if your son, God forbid, does something like this, you'll be able to phone the police and say, come grab him, he's done this? Do you think you'll be able to do that? Or maybe you'll even be more protected than Patricia Dane. What do you think? Who is to blame for this? She was given 18 months, the son was given 11 years and 3 months. Apparently, in my research, people were saying that they've seen her post on Facebook in recent times, so probably she's back from jail. But I'm not surprised if this happened in 2019 and we're in 2023, she's probably back from jail because she was only jailed for 18 months. What do you think? Is this a bad sign? Do you think she has a part to play for not raising the son well? But as a mother, you can never be so sure. Does she even know that the son had a gun to shoot? Does she even know the son was into selling of cannabis? I mean, all these questions. Yeah, but may you never find yourself in such a situation, a tough situation where you'd have to, you know, protect a loved one that can land you in jail, you know? What do you think about this story? This is really strange, really, really sad. I feel so sorry for her, honestly. And I feel sorry for the gentleman as well. He shouldn't have to go through that. You know, he's now left with one leg for the rest of his life. Also very sad. But tell me, who do you blame? The cheating girlfriend, Vicenzo DeFalco, or the mom? Life. Thank you.